Hello folks, and welcome to Saving Miller. So initially when we got the cows and we got this kind of set up here for our rotational grazing, we divided the pasture into two sections. I put up this fence, and I didn't realize how important it is to have good poly wire. So the first wire that we bought was a 6-strand yellow wire from Tractor Supply. And this stuff has been out here. It's been in the sun. It's been, 2 years. It's right about 2 years old. And it is weak. It's falling apart. Strands are breaking. And this center fence especially is really important. But the cows keep running through it, especially when I get new steers. So this fence has been sort of a nuisance. Hasn't been working very well. And I decided I've got to fix it, right? It's too much. I hope to get a couple more steers here shortly, and every time I get them, they run through it. Well, one of the problems is that it's actually fairly hard to see because it's so small, it's yellow and black, it's not great. So, we decided to go with a poly rope. I've got 1,300 feet of this, and I'm going to run a strand across the top. And hopefully this will have enough of a visual that we'll be able to keep the cows from running through it, and it should be a lot stronger, and it should look a little better. And then underneath, where I don't want them to slide underneath, we will run another strand of, maybe I'll still use a piece of this yellow stuff, but it's just not very good anymore. We want to keep it high enough so the cows actually eat the grass that's on top of the berm, but we've got to redo it. So these clips right here, these T-post connectors, are really, really bad. They last about a year in our sun, and then they deteriorate and they break. So this one is a newer one, so it's not broken yet, but you can see it's fading pretty quickly. You know, the inside is what it used to look like. You know, that plastic just breaks down so fast. And so I'm using a different type for the poly rope, and I'm hoping we can have better success. Hopefully it lasts longer. Now, one of the issues with the rope is that it's pretty heavy. This is thick stuff. And so just using a T-post is not going to work. That T-post is going to get pulled over. So I am going to try to pull this thing out, put a new one in, and then use this one because it's shorter, put it back here for a brace. So I'll have a diagonal brace on it so that we can really put a lot of tension on it and pull it off of the fence in the back. Get it nice and tight. And we want to do that so we can connect to it for our dividing fences as we put those up. It'll just make it more convenient for us. Right now we kind of have to go really close to a post, and it still doesn't work that well. So hopefully that'll get us some better options. Then what I'm going to do is move the charger onto this side and put the ground posts in here. This way I think I'll get better results overall. I'll be able to electrify this better, and I can isolate some of the stuff on the front that I don't need. Now, I do need to maintain this position because I set these 4 posts up here so that I can, section it off whichever way I need to. And we're going to need to maintain our length here so that my gates work. But the gates are not very good either, so I'm going to have to update that side as well. But for now, I'm just going to do this. I got to get it done so that we can keep moving the cows to the back of the pasture here. And so there's a dividing fence because the last 2 sections are torn down because they ran through it. So let's get to it. wire rope like this, you need a different type of T-post clip. It's got quite a large space in there. So the typical, like the yellow ones that I have, those won't work. Okay, I got this all finished up. Overall, I think I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. I was able to get the wire pretty tight and get my electricity hooked up here. So let's take a look. So I put in a ground rod here so that I can, get a good ground. And then I put the charger on top of the brace post. Now that brace really made a good difference. My post is still nice and straight, and I was able to get those wires really tight. I pulled them by hand, but got it done. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is these connectors here. I think those are really important for making a good electrical connection. And then I connected the top and bottom wires together, and that's how I'm providing power. So that works pretty well. Now, one of the things that we do a lot is hook onto the fence, at various places for our dividing, for managing the cows. And so this wire rope actually works really nicely for that. So one more thing I want to show you that I did here that might be a very useful tip. So here in the middle of the fence, I took the bottom one and I ran it up to the top insulator, across and back down. So the bottom wire is still a continuous one, but it now gives us an opening where we can slide through there, and it lets the dog through. Because she's big enough that she hits this fence, and so she won't go underneath it. So it gives her a chance to get through, and then down at the end, I just connected it to the fence. So overall, I'm really happy with this. This is a great upgrade to the 6-strand cheap wire that we had before. So I do still need to get newer posts eventually, and make it a little bit nicer and straighter, but this is going to do well for us for now. Saving Miller out.